Hello and welcome back to another episode of Shapeless Skyrim. My name is Tori.
My name is Tyler. Today we are going to be looking at 4 mods to kind of enhance the world of
Yeah, some
Skyrim.
tweaks to Hey, Todd, we're going to make your shitty world real good. We got you, Todd.
I don't know. Comparatively, now, we're not going to say anything to not upset gamers. Todd did a pretty good job, though.
Yeah, Todd doesn't have the buggiest game.
The first mod you're looking at, I really like, and you can see it right away. It's called Julihah's Dirt Replacer, Roads, Grass, Snow, Landscape Overhaul. So, by the title, it's not just like, just one kind of dirt or something. There's
Right.
so many different kinds of fucking dirt in this mod.
Julihah loves dirt, just getting in there, just getting so muddy.
July is so filthy.
Who the hell is attacking me? Stop it.
So before, you'll know that Skyrim was a lot of dirt paths and everything was like a mud texture.
Yeah.
They have overhauled the roads to be this grass coming through, this kind of like man-made road texture.
Yeah, it's not just like if there was a path, it was always just that same kind of cobbled stone you just saw it everywhere. And this changes it, and I think it just looks better, and it looks more like,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, this is a very man-built road here. They want it to look nice and be a little more sturdy, but you do see nature kind of reclaiming a little bit.
Look up and walk how you normally would.
Okay.
I think maybe an unintended but really great kind of side effect this has is it adds to that fantasy feeling. Like
I
it
agree,
feels
yeah.
more fantastical.
Yeah, and this is, of course, not the only thing. So you'll see here as we approach Riverwood that it cuts off once you get into the city, and then it is just dirt. Like, this becomes now just the dirt area, and whether that's because they never put a road there or because it's being, there's so much foot traffic on it that it's just worn down, or it made more sense to have dirt, or the farm animals, who knows? But it's now varied. The road doesn't carry on. It's now muddy and grassy as you enter the city here. But it will just, again, pick up on the other side of the city, and there's more of the brick road.
Even on that dirt texture, it's still got that foliage kind of built into it.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
So it continues that kind of greener theme for Skyrim.
Yep. And we're going to go check out a few more places here to show off the different types of roads. So, Tyler, what do you say we head to a snowy region?
Oh, that sounds good. I want to see what Julihah did.
So we've come here to Winterhold, and you can see that the roads are quite different here, and quite improved, I might add.
Absolutely. Like, I love the texture it gives everything, because you can see the concrete kind of sticking through. It gives it like a more jagged, rocky feel. It's visually like such a drastic improvement that it's like a quality of life. Like, yeah, I should have this on.
Yeah.
The other great thing, performance is totally fine.
Yeah, I noticed in a few spots, and I'm not sure if it's because of this mod, but it was like a little bit framey, just a little bit less smooth than I would like by a few frames. But overall, the performance seems to be very well intact, which is always a bonus when it's something that's changing this much. Because it's not just the roads that are changing. This also includes Julihah's rock retexture that we showed off in a previous episode. That's fully included. So you can delete that, get this, and you have them both.
It makes Skyrim feel more well-traveled than just a bunch
Yeah.
of mud routes. Like, it is an established area. And we have an established audience that recommended this mod to us.
Oh,
and
yes.
There's 3 of them, which is... Should I try and do this in a raffle voice, like those
Sure.
dudes who are like, hey, blah, 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 blah.
Go for it.
This mod is suggested by Squirrel Gravelli Suit Killer Sting.
Now, you gotta separate it more than that, pal. That was one syllable, and it was just mush. It was verbal mush.
Fine, whatever. I guess, okay. This mod is suggested by Squidor.
Very good.
Cavelian.
You don't gotta do it like Billy Madison trying to read. Jesus Christ, Tyler.
Cavel Killer Sting.
Wow, pal. The fucking graphic was on and off the screen already. I don't know why I did that. Oh my god. It was a dream.
Wait,
Tyler,
what do
maybe
you mean
we should.
it did that?
I
You
don't know.
did that.
I just unconsciously did it. I'm so sorry, and I think maybe we should get away from here, mostly because the law's after us, and we should go show one of the other road textures in a maybe more untamed area.
Ah, the untamed wilderness.
Tyler, it's controlling me again. No! And here's the overgrown version of the road, where it is carrying over that sort of brick-laid road here, but you can see that it has a lot more of the actual, like, more tactile grass tufts coming through. It's not just the texture.
Yeah, it's far more rugged, more wilderness appropriate. You know, not a lot of trade routes here. So it A, makes functional sense, and B, like, I get when we're walking and looking at it, you might be overanalyzing and being like, oh, well,
Sure. But
whatever.
yeah, if you're just going like casually, like, oh, I'm gonna run to the next location, it does naturally like fit in where this part just gets a little bit overgrown because that's how the grass is around here and no one's there to maintain it. And then some of the roads will be nicely maintained, or maybe they're so well worn that the grass doesn't even grow on them anymore. I think it looks and feels a lot better. And hey, 90% of that could be because Skyrim's 10 years old and I'm sick of looking at Todd's miserable pixels and I like seeing something new. But hey, I really like this, and Julihah always knocks it out of the park. And so obviously we'll keep this on all episode, but I think we can move on to mod number 2.
So how about we...
Yeah. Oh, Tyler, you're that
how
was
about
a smooth swing right there, pal.
Fuck. How about we bow our heads and pray for mod number 2?
Tyler, are you feeling mournful?
I guess. What? Oh, shit. Stand and salute. We're in Arlington.
Yep. Put in the music. We got it. Fuck. Sorry, troops. Heroes.
The
Sorry.
Rockets red. Anyway, this is mod number 2, and it's called Realistic Falkreath Graveyard. And I love the mod description so much, I'm gonna read a little bit of it for you.
Go for it.
You know what Skyrim's biggest problem is? Well, it's not the size of this graveyard, but that's the problem I've decided to tackle with this mod. So,
oh boy,
essentially,
that's great.
they just go on to say, like, this graveyard has been here forever, and it's supposed to have all of Falkreath's dead people. Why are there only, like, 5 graves?
In lore, there were so many conflicts that happened in this area that Falkreath had known a massive graveyard, but it wasn't really all that. It was bigger than other Skyrim ones, which a lot of times didn't exist, but it wasn't huge. Now, they added a fuckload of like there's no room here. They put they're head to feet here. They're just lined up.
Hey, all these like grave markers, that's not all of them. That's just to make you feel better. They're stacked down there.
Yeah, they have a lot of mass graves. They put about 6 bodies per lot, so it's a little bit rough.
Go down by the house, because I like how it looks as a view. Like, I like
That's
how
a
it
little bit
operates
morbid.
as like a
God,
world piece.
All of my family is there, right there. I like to come and eat lunch here and watch it because I'm sick.
That's just the first 45 minutes of The Devil All the Time.
Yeah, but hey, this is a small little tweak, but again, this is about enhancing the world, and I think sometimes it is those little tweaks that when you walk into the city, you want to feel, like you walk down this area, you should feel a sense of loss and a sense of sort of a morbid nature to it, and you just don't get that with the 17 gravestones that Todd shit all over this area.
Yeah, you really don't. Like, you want to feel really bad when you walk in to Falkreath, especially because of the graveyard. The only thing that would feel worse than this is if you could read the gravestones and they all said, like, 1242 to 1242.
In this year that we've all been suffering through here, we decided, hey, instead of giving you escapism entertainment, let's remind you about people dying.
Let's remind you about infant deaths.
Hey, Tyler, I'm pretty sad now. Do you have anything that can cheer me up?
Well, I mean, maybe we should just get out of Skyrim entirely for mod number 3.
Yeah, seeing him again, that's really... Yeah, you know what? Let's
get out of this sad place.
Yep. Tyler, to escape sadness, I thought we would come to Tel Mithryn here on the land of Morrowind.
I mean, it's pretty sad in Solstheim. Like,
it is pretty sad.
It's pretty objectively sad. It's just ash.
Like, it's just ash and sadness. So maybe this wasn't the best place to, sort of douse our woes. But alas, here we are to show you a nice enhancement to Tel Mithryn that I'm sure a lot of you have already noticed. They got some protection, finally, with this big old wall of roots that is not only like in a lore-friendly way protecting the city, but also very cool and unique and really works with this area. Having, instead of a big brick wall, no, it's these big roots that are intertwined and sort of wrapping around the city to this beautiful arched entranceway, a gate of sorts.
And this is because Dunmer's settlement of Tel Mithryn.
Yes.
So you'll see that, this kind of grand feeling entryway. Like it's it's almost uncharacteristically grand, but I like it because Tel Mithryn before, it felt like it wasn't an actual city. It was just like, oh, here's a tree.
Yeah, it's like one guy lives here, and then his friends that help him also live in these little huts. But this makes it feel more like a small settlement, and maybe because the Telvanni wizard guy that lives in the big mushroom, maybe he magically bent these roots into place to protect the city or something. It gives it a bit more of a grand feel with this giant mushroom top. It adds to it in a big way.
And that's feels what we're doing today. Deserves a name now, because
sure.
the Unabomber's house in the middle of the woods didn't have a name. You don't just name a random deserted place, but now it feels like, okay, now it deserves a name.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's been some other tweaks to this as well, some other small enhancements to the city. So you can see if you go right back here in the corner behind the apothecary, the community has grown a small garden of ash yams to sort of feed themselves and not have to make the treacherous trip out to Raven Rock where they might have had to do trade before. Now they have some food that they can actually grow themselves in the climate in which they live.
Yeah, it's a more defended area. You have the guards. Right. You have this kind of settlement feeling to it, and also a really grand entrance. It's not only just it's defended. It's also yes, this is a specific area you are entering into, and I think it just makes Tel Mithryn feel a little bit more believable.
Yeah, having the demarcation of you're entering something that is a contained community. I really like that. And then adding the guards here, you can see they do have the purple face, and we're used to that here on PS4, so that's not a big problem. But they added guards this is a community that has protection, which again adds to the feeling. And it's one of those, it's a small thing and in the grand scope, but it's again one of those enhancements that's gonna make the game feel a lot better.
Mm-hmm. What happened here, bud?
Don't worry about it. I didn't do
I would say, there's more than the one guard. There are the 3 guards, and they will be, positioned. And I would say a solution, give them the chitin armor,
I kind of dig, the mage's robes mixed with the chitin. I'm kind of into that, because they are protecting a community that's built around one mage, really, that lives here, and then people gathered.
I would just like it, I don't know, because, in order to get rid of the purple face, I wouldn't question it if, what's his nuts just hired bodyguards from Raven Rock that were all in the chitin armor already. He just paid them more than Raven Rock could to be a guard. So they work for him, and then you wouldn't even see the purple face. You can build around it.
As a whole, those wound roots that are popping out, I think that looks so cool. And it's probably
really
a case
cool.
of it, but
it's a really cool idea, and it was executed really well too. Those roots look awesome. They really do.
And clean,
and it gives the city a nice profile.
Absolutely, and I think that's the best thing it does. Finally, some importance is given to this little mushroom village. Love it.
Now, all right, I guess we got to go back to Skyrim now, but let's see what else we can do to enhance the world of Skyrim.
Tyler, welcome to mod number 4.
Mod number 4, you'll notice, has a definite big world change for Skyrim.
Yes,
and it's hold capitals, towns, and villages.
Yeah, so this mod adds a ton of... it's not like changes to villages. These are new towns that were included in the Elder Scrolls Arena, the very first Elder Scrolls game, that a modder took it upon themselves to create a bunch of these small settlements. So the first one I will show you on the map because they are not shown where to find in the description. Just sort of southeast of Morthal there.
Southwest.
Shit. Southwest. And you'll find Dunstad Grove. It'll be a little icon like this. So you can set a marker, travel your way there, and you'll discover it when you get close. And it's just this nice, quaint little fishing village.
So there's going to be a few different options for you to visit here. There's Sungard, Dunpar Wall, Dunstead Grove, Granite Hill, Pagrin Village, and then Rorikstead, but I don't... Fuck that.
They made small changes to Rorikstead. Look, we're not going to go to Rorikstead. It's a shit village, and I'll never visit there.
I'm never going to Rorikstead. What are you...
Oh, she just decided she wanted to sort of kick. Just lay down and kick right there. That's a good kicking spot. Love it.
The one thing that I've always felt Skyrim needed more of was settlements, because otherwise it can feel a little empty. You're going to the same villages all the time.
Yeah.
I like that there's like a pop-up kind of settlement here that's not as, established as the main village is, but there's still extra life happening around Skyrim.
I do feel like it is about as established as something like Iverstead, though. Like, sure, it doesn't have the throat of the world, like, where you start the journey there, but like in terms of like location and building count and stuff, it's kind of got what the smaller villages do, and it's a very nice location. It's a very beautiful area here. So I mean, realistically, this fits into the game just fine. And you even got the Silver Whale, which is like a general goods store. You have the things you want. Maybe you don't have a bar, unless this is a bar. Now that's just a house.
It's
a couple houses and a store.
It's a little trade stop along the way.
Yeah, and that's, little things like this are definitely what, you nailed it. Like, Skyrim needed these smaller settlements that are just, nope, this is a small fishing village. Not a lot of people live here, but they're within distance to go trade with Morthal, and yeah, it's simple and really does add a ton to the world. But there's a couple of these. I think I want to show off just a few of them here. So what do you say we hop on to the next little village? So this next village we're going to look at is called Dunpar Wall, and you can see that it's quite a ways south of Dawnstar here, but again, you can just place this on your map. You should have no problem just trucking around that area, and you'll be able to find it. And this one does have a more grand entrance with this whole gateway through it and stuff. Very vertically built, so you can tell it wasn't exactly, it is tacked on, but it doesn't look bad,
I think this would be a good mod to start a new game with.
Oh,
because
yeah, absolutely.
You will, discover them pretty naturally. Like, none of them are really tucked away. Like, this one's right between Dawnstar and Morthal. Like, you're gonna hit it. So I think it feels really, really natural in the game that you will just come across these locations and these smaller settlements. And look at how much this did just for this path. Like, this isn't just a small little village like the other one was. They're both positioned so well too. Like, locationally, they make sense. This one's built into a rock face. The other one was positioned right next to a river. They make sense.
Yep, they even have guards in there, and none of the people that I've seen have the purple face, so they must be duplicates of people from other towns. But hey, Skyrim people all kind of look the same anyway, so who cares if it's a duplicate? Because then they look like they belong here. They don't have the purple face. So
if Bellathor was just in every village, like, it just didn't make
that'd be
any
so
sense.
Good.
Like, if he was like the Cabbage Man from Avatar.
Oh, my cabbages!
And he didn't even. Oh, this boy's dumb. But he didn't even have, like, a different name. It was just Bellathor every time. And he's like, if I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second.
Do come back.
God, he's so... Bellathor is just a fucking seductive daddy when he says that. You know what I mean?
Look, he's a hot, fuckable piece of man meat.
Like I was saying, like, they have shops and everything, too. Like, it's not just houses and, like, it's very thought through the way that these were put in. And, like, this is a mining community. The other one was a fishing community. And they are, at the end of the day, they are almost more lore friendly than actual Skyrim, because these were listed in as towns in Skyrim in Elder Scrolls Arena. So I think Todd got it wrong.
What'd you just say?
the details are all here for you to just naturally encounter these, make Skyrim feel a little bit more alive than it already did. And it's more rest stops along the way.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
They're built in such a way that they make sense locationally, their sound. So I think the modder did an awesome job with Dunmer here. What, you want to check out one more, Tori?
Let's do one more before we call it for the day. Sungard is the final village we're going to be showing off today. It is just off to the east of Iverstad here, real close, should be really easy to find. And this one is a little bit grander, you can see. It's got a little bit more oomph to it.
I think it's the prettiest one. Like, this one feels the most natural, and it feels the most grand. Like, it's got some of those rift-in textures in there. This huge castle-like wall, a bridge. Man, it just feels so good to be here.
It's got a very good profile to it. I will say that, but it's, that's not how
ideal. That can be fixed, though. Okay. Well, I guess everything just decided to go wrong at once.
Yeah. So this is not ideal, but that's something that seems very fixable, perhaps. But, let's just suck it in here. Okay.
Man, city planning really biffed that.
If anyone knows how to fix this mod,
and
we
the
still
gargoyles running away.
We still have this random encounters set for Halloween thing, and it's deleted. The mod's been deleted for weeks, but hey, those gargoyles are not stopping their fun games.
Okay, let's get back to the city.
Okay, so Sungard, it's this one it looks really nice on the outskirts, and it does have an interesting feel. It does feel like a bit ramshackle. Things were thrown up at varying times with this one's wooden, this one's brick. They weren't built to be cohesive necessarily.
Mm-hmm. They were built at different times. They had to fit within the castle walls that they kind of had. And look, this one's got an inn.
Yeah,
even.
this one, you can make, hey, this is a destination. You can make
it's
weekend of it here at
I
Sungard.
like it because it feels like they had to pack it in within the walls and make it fit within a certain area. So it's a really cramped living quarters. So it doesn't feel like other cities or villages that are more like plotted out. This one is like, you gotta plan. I don't know what the word I'm searching for is. Tori, just start talking. Tori, I'm done. Tori,
are you kind of just over it?
Tori, it's not that I'm over the mod. It's like I can't talk today. Why don't you just kind of
you got
pick
smooth
up?
brain syndrome, so that's not great. But yeah, this one's a little bit more fleshed out in terms of it has a blacksmith, it has an inn, it has a bar. It has a general store. It's kind of got everything, and though it is ramshackle, I do kind of like the dirty, slap together, build on top of each other feel to it. It's unique and it's different, but I will say you can tell it's taking a hit on the system. This is the most performance issues we've had showing any of these mods. That could be an us issue because we've destroyed our game with so many mods week after week that Todd says that's about enough, boys. You're done.
Is Todd trying to cancel our series?
Todd just thinks we're nerds for still playing his miserable creation 10 years later.
Or he's mad at us because we continuously call it his miserable creation. Do you think Todd's mad at us?
You think Todd has it out for us? Oh, Todd, we love you. You got
Todd,
beautiful
we
hair,
love you.
man. Love you, Todd. I don't want to understate how important it is to have these small expansions to Skyrim that just add little settlements and add these little enhancements. And that goes with everything today. Just building up Tel Mithryn a little bit, adding more to the graveyard, building on the lore that exists there, making things feel, look, and overall fit the styling of the game in a better
at least gives you
way.
More waypoints. Like, it gives you more things to look at as you roam across Skyrim. Like, imagine if you were just walking through first playthrough and you saw this. You'd be like, oh, I want to go visit that because it has such a nice profile. It looks so good. It's another village I haven't explored. And that's what I think specifically this mod does really well today, kind of adding those extra world feeling like, oh, yeah, it's another reason to explore. And what every mod did for today, and just kind of like giving that world a little facelift, maybe, giving it a new appreciation and a new way to explore the world of Skyrim again.
Yeah, so hopefully you got some good enhancements to your game. A lot of these are ones that are going to be really good to start a fresh game with. And if you have any mods you'd like to see featured on the show in the future, please send those over to me on Twitter at LurkingLion.
I can be at Subtly Cool or the best place all the time. Leave them in the comments. We love
Hop
going through
in
the
there.
comments. Yeah, hop in. We love going through the comments each week. It always ends up being a hoot and a holler in the comments with you guys. So you can find us
Yeah.
there. The other way you can find us, hey, we upload a podcast every Friday. It's called Baseless
sure
Claims.
do.
It's on Spotify, mother, Tori.
SoundCloud.
Tori, just take, Tori, I'm done. Tori,
Yeah.
man, I'm done.
I'll tap you out there and tag you out. That's what I meant. I'm not going to knock your ass out.
Jesus fuck, are you threatening me? I'm gonna fucking tap you out.
If you like when we get loose and go on tangents in this show, you are going to absolutely love our podcast, Baseless Claims. Again, that's going to go everywhere. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, wherever you
It's
listen to your
SoundCloud.
podcast. SoundCloud, it's on there too. We just developed it. It's a great platform. Lots of ads,
SoundCloud
though.
too.
Be sure to check that out. You're guaranteed to breathe
Chuckle.
out your nose heavy once at least. So
At least once per episode. At
That's
the
exactly
fucking
right.
bare minimum, you're gonna pretty hard.
yeah, at least once per episode. But I feel like we're starting to really lose the journey.
I
here,
lost
so-
my focus 45 minutes ago, man.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week for more Shapeless Skyrim. Please listen to the podcast. That sounded desperate. Fuck. Let's get out of here.
Please listen to the podcast.
Please.
This
listen
episode
to
got real loosey-goosey.
Yeah, and I love
We'll see
it.
you guys next week. Leave your comments, suggest mods.
How'd that chicken
Let
get
us
in
know
the
what you want
water,
to see.
Teeth? Todd's
Hey.
getting loose too.
Any ideas you guys have? We're looking at maybe doing another maybe holiday live stream or New Year's live stream, some
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So if you guys if that's something you want to see, let us know. Also, Discord coming soon. You'll know when we know.
I'm sick of looking at Todd's miserable pixels.